She defines superpowers as your innate ability to create impact. I love that. Your innate ability to create impact. You guys, if you aren't hearing a theme about today, it is, are you using your inner compass? Are you taking time to understand yourself? Are you talking yourself up?
Welcome to the Be It Till You See It podcast, where we talk about taking messy action, knowing that perfect is boring. I'm Lesley Logan, Pilates instructor and fitness business coach. I've trained thousands of people around the world, and the number one thing I see stopping people from achieving anything is self-doubt. My friends, action brings clarity, and it's the antidote to fear. Each week, my guests will bring bold, executable, intrinsic, and targeted steps that you can use to put yourself first and be it till you see it. It's a practice, not a perfect. Let's get started.
Welcome back to the Be It Till You See It interview recap, where my co-host in life, Brad, and I are going to dig into the flourishing convo I had with Danielle Droitsch in our last episode. If you haven't yet listened to that interview, feel free to pause this now and go back and listen to that one, and then come back and join us. She's a fucking badass.
She's pretty amazing. I really enjoyed that conversation.
I mean, I don't even know how she's been listening to our pod for a while. Then she pitched herself. We talked to her. You came up and talked to her. I want to be friends with her. I wish she lived closer. She's doing great work. And also, like, I don't even know how she did what she did for a living because, like, as we talked about on the podcast, you're an environmental attorney, which means you're constantly fighting for the environment, and the environment is constantly getting hotter.
I didn't know she was an environmental attorney.
I'm pretty sure.
No, she just described her work as an attorney, but it's possible. You guys had that. You talked.
Yeah, no,
beforehand.
she was an environmental policy world attorney. Like, she was a fucking badass in DC. And I remember talking to her offline, like, oh my God. So every day you're trying to say the earth is hot. I'm fighting for the earth. And every day they're like, you know, like, it's just, I don't know. Like, that'd be a long, hard, but we need people like her in this world.
Well, she quit. So.
She still fights for it. She still does her work. She didn't quit. Brad, that makes it sound like she gave up. She did not. You know it.
No, she has moved on to bigger and better
She
things.
had to leave DC for other reasons. And it's pretty hard to fight for the environment on a world level outside of DC. So anyways, she's still badass.
Yeah, actually, she said she's bringing a little bit of liberal vibes to Salt Lake City. So,
we love that.
Yeah.
You know, it's really because we have a friend who's a federal defense attorney, and I like think about her going to work every day, right? And like the federal defense attorney is like, what's the average win? It's like 2% or something like that. And she's like 4%, and that's like fucking badass, right? And you're just like, and she's like fighting for.
I think she had 6.
I think she has 6. You're right.
Yeah.
She got like defense attorney of the year. Hi, Amelia. Anyways, she like, I think about people like that and Danielle and like these other people, like, talk about having to figure out a different way of understanding how to celebrate your wins, because like it could take years to move to get a date for something to be heard. Years. And we're over here being until we see it going, oh, that thing didn't happen yesterday.
Yeah,
I have to wait 6 months.
I mean, especially with environmental law. I mean, you could be working on something for, 5 to 10 years before it actually comes together. So
yeah. Well, we'll get into her in a second. Hold on.
Yeah.
Just so you're clear, I actually have no idea what day Brad chooses until we open up the script, unless I choose a day. And so I have no idea what I'm about to read. And I feel like it's going to be weird. Because today is November 6th, 2025, and it's Marooned Without a Compass Day, which is the story of my life. I think I would be marooned without a compass for sure. If I had my phone, it was working, we'd be okay. But truth be told, I don't have a charger ever on me, which means my compass would be leaving us quickly. This day is celebrated annually to put a spotlight on the direction of our lives, or the lack of it. Oh, well, that's interesting. On this day, we ask ourselves the hard question, where is my life going? Am I happy? In a rather literal sense, marooned means being trapped alone in a place.
Yeah.
But in a mindful sense, it describes the ecstatic gloom. And thank you, Brad, for highlighting. I see ecstatic gloom is a paradoxical or oxymoronic phrase that describes the feeling of being simultaneously overwhelmed with happiness and sadness. It is not a standard English idiom, but a descriptive pairing of two contradictory emotions. Wonderful. I feel like ecstatic gloom is how I live every day in this administration. That comes with being lost in our life.
Okay. So ecstatic gloom. So in a rather literal sense, marooned means being trapped alone in a place, but in a mindful sense, it describes the ecstatic gloom that comes from being lost in our own lives, right? So,
well, this is people who are not being until we see it, Brad.
That's what I'm saying.
That's our listeners do not need marooned without a compass.
That's why today is exactly the right day to celebrate.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay,
So
hold on.
Because today is all about climbing up from the rock bottom of our lives and becoming our own compass. But that's what we do here
At Be It Till You See
every
It.
single day at the Be It Pod. So, I thought this was a great day because what this actually really made me think about was the reset button that COVID was.
Yeah.
And
if people took advantage of it, which I feel like.
I mean, whether or not you took advantage of it, it became a very real. It was a mirror to our own lives. Each and every one of us had this really, I'm sure we all had the internal conversation, this ecstatic gloom of like, oh, this is what my life is. Is this what I want my life to be? Am I on
oh my
the
God,
road
I get to lay on the
path
couch. That's the ecstatic part. You have to have ecstatic part of the gloom.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many people like. I think I think there was this weird perception that we can learn another language, but that never happened for us.
People did make sourdough, Brad. Not us.
They did
we weren't those people.
We were not those people, but people did make sourdough.
Our dog got walked fucking 12 fucking miles a day. That's right.
Yeah. But I think that, we're already 5 years past COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is a good time to check in and be like, hey, I had this realization back then. I made changes in my life. The changes that I made, am I happy with them still?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So today is Marooned Without a Compass Day.
Yeah, but you don't have to go on an island and get a volleyball and name it Wilson. You can just hey, I just studied the Hermit card today. That was my tarot reading because my new hobby.
Okay.
And it's about taking time to be alone and do some self-reflection and some inner, like looking in your inner wisdom.
How poignant.
How poignant.
Yeah.
But not, no, because this is on November 6th and I'm doing it today. But it is poignant that we're recording this today. And one of the things you have to ask yourself is like, what does like self-reflection look like to you? How do you understand what your inner guidance is? And like, I really do think that a lot of us are very busy. And even some of us are really good at time by ourselves and even time with our self-care. But how often are we actually using our inner wisdom versus our outer wisdom? And this is something I work with like Elevate members when they're like, okay, so what next? And I'm like, you got to go inside. And like juice out what you learned already.
Gotta go inside.
Anyways, well, that's cool. Like it. I like a good compass. I don't know how to use one, but I think about it all the time.
It's okay.
Don't download the free compass on your phone because there is already a compass on your phone.
Yeah, there's already a compass.
Don't get an app.
You don't need to get another app.
That is also poignant. You already have a compass.
Yes,
it's already inside you. You guys,
we're gonna blast through these because there's a whole list now. So we're gonna move real fast.
Are
you ready?
I am ready.
Here's what's happening in November. OPC is gonna have a Black Friday sale. Black Friday, Cyber Monday sale. It's only gonna happen during the actual holiday weekend. We're not doing it before or after.
No, we're not those weirdos who start on November 1st.
Okay, so that's November. December, we are going to be on the road doing our winter tour, which tickets are already on sale. In fact, hopefully the tickets are sold out at this point.
Let me tell you,
however,
we are recording this before they go on sale and people have already bought tickets. I'm not sure how, but they did. So that's how quick the tickets go.
If you are trying to find out more about that, go to opc.me/tour, opc.me/TOUR.
Just can we go back to November? I just want to be very specific because I don't think it was very specific. We're only doing a Black Friday, Cyber Monday for OPC. So if you were excited for a Profitable Pilates discount, we are not doing that. We will have more information. In fact, if you were on our email list, you would already know this and have more information. But we are
cool. So the next thing on our list is in December, we're going to have a Profitable Pilates sale. And that's a secret that we're giving to you here on the pod, y'all listeners. If you ever wanted to try agency out for, a short time.
Like a little mini.
Like a little month.
Not a month, but a little mini.
No, I think it's going to be a month of agency.
Oh, we're doing something fun.
Yeah, we're doing something new and fun. We're trying out agency. So
I know, you guys, I do know about this and I forgot.
While we're not doing a Black Friday, Cyber Monday for Profitable Pilates, we're going to give y'all the opportunity to hop in for a brief time to get to know us and see,
That's
kick
fine.
the tires, as it were. But stay tuned for the end of December, after Christmas, before the new year. Okay.
Whoa, guys, there's so much more. You ready? Can I take over?
Yeah, you can
January,
go real fast.
my birthday month. You're welcome to send gifts. Pilates Journal Expo in Huntington Beach. Go to xxll.co/Pilates Journal. I am teaching some great workshops, a world premiere of a workshop, by the way, why your clients don't get it. I'm super excited about that and some other good stuff. And then also in January, you want to make sure you're already on the wait list. So don't get on the wait list in January. Get on the wait list now for Cambodia, because in January is the early bird discount and only those on the wait list get that invite.
That's right.
In February, the month of love.
Wait, go to crowsnestretreats.com to get yourself on the wait list for
Thank
Cambodia.
God for Brad. Thank God. Okay, February, Agency Mini is happening in February. So you want to get on the wait list for that. Do you hear how we have wait lists? Why do you have wait lists? Because you get all the good stuff, including somehow people buying tickets early for the tour. So profit.biz/mini. That's profit without the O. .biz/mini. It's 3 days of epicness for your business. I promise you, it will light a fire under your ass. You will not feel marooned without a compass. That is for fucking sure.
That's for sure.
And then in March, we are in Poland at the Contrology Pilates Conference with Karen Frischman, all the Contrology equipment. It's going to be so fun. That's xxll.co/Poland. Also in March, we're in Brussels at Elle's studio. It's really amazing with Karen Frischman. And Brad, did I tell you? Ignacio is going to be there.
Oh, I thought it was Miguel.
No, that's for something else I'm doing. No, Ignacio.
Oh, that's so great.
I know. I'm so excited. I found out when they announced it. I was like,
I saw some photos, but I didn't
I know.
the names together.
So excited.
That's so cool.
It's a Vintage and Friends program at Elle's studio in Brussels. We are teaching different workshops in Poland and Brussels. So you can actually go to both, or you can pick which weekend you want. But it's Karen and I, and Ignacio's only in Poland, and Brad's coming along. xxll.co/Brussels. And then in April, POT London. Okay. That's a lot, guys.
That's a whole lot.
We're not doing anything else the rest of the year. All right. Before
That's not true at all. But
that's not true at all. But we're not doing a lot of international stuff besides the retreat. Anyways, let's get into the question. We have to talk about Danielle still. What's the question?
Let's do it. All right. So this is regarding Swan Dive on the Wanda chair. At Denise Braun Stargazer on YouTube asks, what spring tension would you recommend for this movement? Tips for Swan Dive on the Wanda chair on an exo chair.
So
spring tension?
So an exo chair is still a Wanda chair. Here, I appreciate that it has its own name because it is different than a traditional Wanda chair. But the thing that makes it different is the angle of the pedal, the weight of the chair. I'm sure Ken will tell me a bunch of other things that are different, and also, but to the eye and to the use. And also the cactus thing on the back has 4 springs, but they have other things that have four hooks, I should say. 2 springs, 4 hooks. So if you're using my flashcards, you'll see that there's a how to use this deck card. And that card actually will tell you that on a chair that has 4 hooks, so that'd be an exo chair or anything else that has 4 hooks, I ignore the 4th hook on an exo chair unless you absolutely need it. And the person who edits our flashcards actually only has an exo chair. So she edited these cards with the exo chair in mind. So without seeing you do the Swan, my guess is you should start with 1 spring on a 2. So the cactus on an exo chair has numbers, 1 spring on the 2. Now, that being said, you could be fun sized and you need a 1. You could be in more of a body abundance or a chest abundance body, so you have a little bit more weight going on the pedal. So then you might need a 3. You might be super advanced and only need a 1. You might be a beginner and need a 3. So the thing about the Wanda chair that people don't understand, and this goes with the exo chair as well, is that the springs are like pirate rules, guidelines. You get to choose them. You get to, do you remember what was the line in the pirate movie? Their pirate rules are just like thoughts. Do you know the line of the movie?
What are you talking about?
Johnny Depp's movie of the pirates. They're like guidelines. Everyone knows what I'm talking about if they watch this movie. I'm going to look it up later. Anyways, on the chair. So another example on a Wanda chair is on the flashcards. I say that a pull-up is often done on a 1 spring on a 1 and 1 spring on a 3. That would be
it's about the pirate rules.
Yes.
They're more like guidelines.
Correct.
Yes.
That's how the Wanda chair.
I think it's parlay.
Parlay.
Yeah.
So that's exactly how a Wanda chair works in an exo chair. So if we ignore the 4th hook on the exo chair, then you have a 1, 2, and a 3. Or what we'll often say in classical Pilates, a top and a bottom. 1 is a bottom and a 3 is a top. And then a middle spring is a 2. So if the traditional parlay on a pull-up is a top and a bottom, so a 1 and a 3 on an exo chair, that would be the guideline. However, right now I'm doing a pull-up on a 1 top. That's pretty impressive, Brad. You should be impressed. It's impressive.
I'm so impressed right now.
Denise,
it's a one on top.
And then the other thing to go off of, guys, is the spring working with you? Meaning the spring should never be pushing you around, nor you bossing it around. It's your dance partner. So today it might be a 2, tomorrow might be a 3. I know this is annoying because you just want to know, but that means you're trying to be a perfectionist and not someone who is using their inner compass. That's all I have to say about that. All right. If you have questions, send them to beitpod.com/questions, or you can text us at 310-905-5534. If that's international, you got to do a +1. All right, Brad, let's talk about Danielle.
Or just use the website. Go to beitpod.com/questions. Stick around. We'll be right back. We're going to dig into all this amazing stuff we learned from Danielle Droitsch. All right, let's talk about Danielle Droitsch. Danielle spent decades as a lawyer in the environmental policy world. Oh, that's where we learned it. Leading teams and
Leave it in.
leading teams and directing big projects. But after 25 years, she hit a wall and realized the traditional path of titles and skills was not bringing her fulfillment. That turning point led her into coaching, where she now helps mid to senior leaders uncover their superpowers, the natural strengths that create meaning, energy, and impact. Instead of piling on more certifications or chasing someone else's version of success, she shows people how to tap into what already is inside of them.
Sounds like a bunch of our listeners need to hear that, because I remember Erica Quest and I did a whole Wealthy Mindset weekend about like imposter syndrome. And one of the sign of you have imposter syndrome is that you continually acquire more certifications. And look, I think Danielle would agree with me. Learning is cool. You got to keep learning. But if you keep thinking that the next certification is going to make you happy, that is the wrong motivation. So she defines superpowers as your innate ability to create impact. I love that. Your innate ability to create impact. You guys, if you aren't hearing a theme about today, it is, are you using your inner compass? Are you taking time to understand yourself? Are you talking yourself up? She states that these are often hidden to you. And unless you've gone through the exercise of actually figuring out your superpowers, you do not likely know them. This is so true. I think when we coach people, the often thing is like, oh my God, that's amazing, right? We talk about you're the only person who can do what you do the way you do it. And people are like, it's come so easy to me. It's like, yeah, it comes not easy to everyone else. Like no one else gets it. And we do need a mirror. We need some way. We need a Danielle to tell us like, oh, this is the thing that you do really well. Also, it's often the thing that people keep asking you questions about, which is why I should go into being a skincare influencer.
The thing that I thought was really neat about her talking about your innate abilities is she said people will often describe their quote unquote superpowers to her, and she would disagree with them. Right. So they're like, you know, I'm really good at, I don't know, whatever, organizing, or they think it always revolves around work. I think that's ultimately what her point was. That they always apply it around work. And she's saying that's not necessarily the case. For example, for her, she said, of course, I was a competent attorney, but what I was really doing around the office was making sure that everybody was feeling part of the team, feeling included, and being, you know, like encouraging and uplifting. And she said, actually, I never pegged that as my superpower until way after. I was always just like, actually, she said she literally thought it was her weakness. I'm being too kind. I'm so kind. I need to be less kind. I need to be more ruthless in my, you know, and she said that's because I was applying my kindness to my execution of my job, but I was imagining that that's a weakness when really it was my strength.
Yeah.
You know, and so it was really interesting. And she said they're often hidden to you, and but she did talk a lot about energy and what makes you,
right.
You know, what feeds you, what lights you up.
She said a way to figure it out is you need to follow the energy, because when engaged in activities align with your superpowers, the time flies by. So episode 400, your genius zone, guys. Alternatively, tasks that are draining to you indicate a lack of alignment. And if we go back to Kareen Walsh and her like drain joy list, right? Like, so And I think what happens is we're all like, oh my God, I need to get better at this. Like I would like often if you have like, I need to be more detailed and I need to work on being more detailed. But being more detailed was like nailed on a chalkboard. Cause I'm like, well, how much more detailed do I need to be? Like, this seems quite obvious to me. No, I'm just not a detailed person, period. Guess why? Everyone on the team has detailed in their fucking strengths because I don't. I don't have it. That was my elbow if you heard that on the podcast. Anyways, it's fine. Don't worry. Didn't hit a funny bone. But I just really like what she said about that. I think it's a great way to think about things. And I also love that she shared what she thought, that she thought her strength was weakness. Like, I think that's very relatable.
Yeah.
What did you love?
Just for those of you who are wondering, Kareen's episode was number 27, and she had a follow-up episode, which was episode 397. So,
whoa, already that many episodes behind?
Mm-hmm.
Like
Crazy.
between?
Yeah.
I feel like that just happened. Okay, well, here we are. You know what? I'm clearly in my fucking like strengths.
You're detailing it away here.
No,
babe.
I'm not detailing it anymore because we added those FYFs. So I don't know what the numbers are anymore.
Slaying it.
But I just want to say I'm clearly following my energy because time is flying by.
Flying by. Yeah. What I really loved is when she was talking about, we have this, I mean, all right. Y'all have heard me talk about strengths finders and Clifton strengths and all that stuff like for years. Okay.
4 years.
4 years. But she said we have this societally reinforced tendency to focus on our weaknesses.
Oh, my ex's biggest thing. And we talked about this on the podcast that we used to do about dating. My ex's biggest thing is like, you're not this, you're not this, you're not this. And I'm like, okay, I got to be better at those things. And no one liked me for those things. So here we are.
Yeah. Also, that's so annoying. I mean, like I think about it and she was laughing because she said, we have kids and the kids, if they came home from school with a D, I would be like, you need to be doing better, right? Even if they were like, well, that's not my strength. She still would say, no, you need to do better, because I think that there's a time and a place for in the typical world of learning the way that we educate people here in the United States. It's based on test results. And now that may be changing over time, but our generation, that was all that mattered was the grade at the end of it. So if you didn't get a grade, then you did not pass, right? And so this pass-fail concept, it drives us to thinking that applies in life. Right. It applies at our job. It applies in our personal lives. And that's not actually the way that it functions in the rest of the world. Education is different than the rest of the world, right? And so what we do, though, is because that's how we were taught, we take that and we apply it. And so we think that we need to be better. We just need to be better at all the things, even if that's not the thing we should be focusing on.
All the time.
Right. And so what do? We get in our job and we're like, wow, I'm really not good at numbers. I guess I need to be better at numbers. So I'll go take a course at numbers. And then you end up hating it. And you're like, oh, I hate everything I'm doing now because I just have to do numbers. And instead, if we were focusing or leaning into our strengths, and this is what Danielle was saying, it'll change our attitude around it'll change our vigor, our excitement, our mindset completely around the thing that we're doing, and probably give us a whole lot more joy. She advised paying attention to what energizes you, right? And, there are cases where you have to, do something that you don't want to do, but eventually you want to outsource those kinds of things, and we've talked about.
We've told this on the retreat. If you want to know why you should come on the retreat, sometimes people are doing things that they think they have to do.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
And like and outsourcing it, like people like outsourcing is maybe expensive. Sometimes you can just delete it. You don't even have to do it. We live in a world with some amazing technology, robots, subscriptions. Like if you hate the grocery store, you can put things on auto ship. You just can't.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Like, what if you hate grocery shopping? Great, put it on repeat. You don't have to actually go do any of that. The way that we live today, it's amazing. But anyway, she said what energizes you often correlates with the things that you're really good at, and it gives you joy, and that will change your excitement about life. Around the horn.
So in Pilates, Jay always told us like whatever you don't like, you have to do twice, because like your body Your body needs it. This is very different than like how you do work and your strengths, right?
Yeah.
So when it comes to like balancing your imbalances, and today, I don't know if that has anything to do with the episode, but I want to share this with you.
Okay.
So today we had to do frog in class, frog, which is your fucking favorite. And I hate everything about it. I hate everything.
Yoga class.
I hate everything about it. And I don't think we were in frog 1 minute, but it felt like 17 years. But when we were in pigeon, which probably was only 1 minute, I just was like, I think we're in pigeon for like 3 minutes. It went by it just flew by because I love pigeons so much. And I just like, pigeon feels so good in my body, but frog doesn't feel good at all. And if I could if I was in charge, we would never frog.
We would never frog.
Because it's
if Lesley was in charge, we would never frog.
I don't like it. But I did tell Anthony, I said, you know how we don't like what we need? And he said, yeah. I'm like, I really hate that. Anyways, you got to pay attention what energizes you, because what doesn't energize me is frog and yoga.
Yeah. Well, maybe in your body, it's kind of like educating. You need to be balancing things out or your body will break.
Yeah, I don't think you should. Here's the thing, because there's a woman named Joanna who I'm trying to get on the pod, guys. I really am. She's got the Unlearn IG, and we're close. We got close. We're getting closer. Stay tuned on that. But she said in her TED Talk, she said like kids should fail at things because they need to learn how to fail, right? Yeah. Like on a low level thing. However, like there's a difference between not trying and like not understanding and like not being a skill. And I do agree, like we don't want kids to not know how to balance their budget. So like you got to learn how to add and subtract. But like also, I think what happens is we put like you said already, we put this pressure, that has to be your focus, as opposed to like, just get like decent at it. And that way you can enjoy the English class that you love or the Shakespeare class that you love or whatever it is. Yeah, I'm in. It makes sense in my brain, Brad.
Great. I love it. Okay. Stick around. We'll be right back. We're going to dig into those be it actions that we got from Danielle Droitsch. All right, let's talk about those be it action items. What bold, executable, intrinsic, or targeted action items can we take away from your convo with Danielle Droitsch? I'm going to jump in right away. She emphasized that you don't need your entire day to be quote unquote fulfilling.
I agree.
This is interesting, right? You don't need your entire day to be fulfilling. Even a relatively small portion dedicated to your strengths can significantly increase your job satisfaction. What was really interesting is she is backing this up with statistics. It wasn't just like this like thing that she's winging it here. She said, hey, observe for at least 1 week, observe what activities give you energy, aim to dedicate at least 20% of your day or your week to these energizing superpowers, these superpower activities to significantly boost fulfillment. So
2% of your day is 30 minutes. What's 20% of your day? How many hours?
Well, hold on. 20% of 8 hours would be 1.5 hours. So if you were like in the zone, as it were, for an hour and a half.
You're in your superpower for an hour and a half a day.
But
you don't have to do it all at once. You could do it
but probably if you're like, if time has disappeared, you've cranked through an hour and a half.
And some of your strength. Yeah. It's probably true. But also just for my perfectionists listening, it's okay. It's probably gonna be okay if it's 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes in the afternoon, 30 minutes.
It might be teaching time for you because that's when things like, go, and that's okay. And that's good.
Yeah.
Like when I was working for somebody else, and even now, what I often like to do is I sit down for, a work block in my head. I'm like, okay, this will be my morning work block before I get up and go to lunch or whatever. And I usually try to give myself like a 3 hour, like 2 to 3 hour, like hard work block. And my hope is that in that time, I do hit the zone. I'm in that zone, and if I can do 2 a day of these work blocks, I have had an effective day. Now, what often happens for me is I'll do probably one in the late morning and then I'll do another one at like 9 o'clock at night.
Right.
Or
you feel like you're in your strength, to Danielle's point, not just like those, you feel like you're
usually
strength.
When you're in the zone, as it were,
time is just flying by.
Yeah. You're using your strength because time is going and you're not realizing it. And it's okay. You're effectively using your superpower.
When I'm doing Pilates, time flies by. Oh my God, it flies by. I looked at the clock. It was like 44 minutes. I was like, whoa, where'd the hour go?
You're just going to do Pilates all day, every day?
Apparently only do an hour and a half. Then I'm going to significantly change my life.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Right,
anyway,
well,
mine.
I don't think that's what it was saying, but we'll go with it.
That's my takeaway, because she said, just follow your energy. That's where your superpowers
No,
live.
we're talking about work. We're not talking about play. But
my job is Pilates.
Yeah, but the point is teaching. We're not talking about doing. Right?
I understand.
Okay, just making sure that we're clear.
We're clear. I'm going to spend more time with myself. She explained that confidence also doesn't come from faking it. Duh. That's why we call the Be It Till You See It podcast. That's why she's on. But in activating what is true about you. And it's not built through the mindset. Rather, it is built through action and failure and success and getting right back up. So you're going to fail, you're going to reflect, you're going to correct, and you're going to continue. That's what you're going to do. And you're going to get better at it. You don't have to do it perfectly the first time.
Yeah, you do not. So
follow your energy. And if you're like, oh, that was the wrong energy, great. You now tomorrow you won't follow that one. You have a new inner compass that's going to tell you the right direction. I'm Lesley Logan.
Well, before we sign off, I actually just got off a coaching call with a client, and we were talking about rolling out a program. And she said, I just don't think I have. She said, what lights me up is educating educators. So she likes to teach teachers. We're talking about Pilates here. And she said, I have my own clients, and I do really enjoy teaching them, but what really lights me up is teaching teachers. She said, the problem I have is that I can't stop teaching to take on more educating teachers. And she said she's feeling really stuck. And what she said in her, like offhand, she was like, and to do like, you know, I got to roll it out and it's got to be perfect. And I got to do this thing and I got to do that. And I was like, hold up, you know, and we had a conversation about this idea of introducing a new product or introducing a new service and it having to be perfect. I said, it has taken us for our retreats, for example, the very first retreat, I worked on it for a year. I put my heart and soul into organizing this thing, right? And I was like, we got this. And we went and we executed it. And afterwards, we were like, we already have things we want to change. In fact, we did not really totally lock in the flow of events, the schedule of this retreat for like 10 retreats. It was maybe after the 8th or 10th retreat where we were like, we're done swapping days around. We've decided these are the days of things running. These are when lunches should be. These are the activity blocks. This is the free time blocks. Like they were all
amazing.
That's not what I'm saying. Each experience was different, but afterwards we were like, we want to make another change. We were all really tired after this one experience because we pushed it too hard. Yeah. Okay, how do we tweak it?
We also got rid of February because we realized we just love October.
You know, whatever. The point is, it wasn't until us having done the experience like almost 10 times that we were like, oh my God, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Like, we have it dialed in, right? So the point is, no, perfection is not real. It's never going to be real. It will never be perfect. We will always have something that we want to adjust after the fact.
Yes, always. Yeah. That's why in the show, we say take messy action. Make messy action.
Yeah.
Wow, guys, it is late for us on this recording date. So I am Lesley Logan.
And I'm Brad Crowell.
We love you.
You're amazing.
Use your inner compass. Go follow the energy. Tell Danielle how you did it. Reach out to her. She's got some great stuff going on.
Totally.
And share this with a friend who needs to hear it. The friend who's like focusing on all that shit that drives them crazy and drains them. Oh my God, that's annoying to be around.
Send them this episode.
Yes, they'll find out now why you did it. Anyways, until next time, be it till you see it.
Bye for now.
That's all I got for this episode of the Be It Till You See It podcast. One thing that would help both myself and future listeners is for you to rate the show and leave a review. And follow or subscribe for free wherever you listen to your podcast. Also, make sure to introduce yourself over at the Be It Pod on Instagram. I would love to know more about you. Share this episode with whoever you think needs to hear it. Help us and others be it till you see it. Have an awesome day.
Be It Till You See It is a production of the Bloom Podcast Network. If you want to leave us a message or a question that we might read on another episode, you can text us at +1 310 905 5534 or send a DM on Instagram at BeItPod.
It's written, filmed, and recorded by your host, Lesley Logan, and me, Brad Crowell.
It is transcribed, produced, and edited by the epic team at Diseño.co.
Our theme music is by Ali at Apex Production Music, and our branding by designer and artist Gianfranco Cioffi.
Special thanks to Melissa Solomon for creating our visuals.
Also to Angelina Herrico for adding all of our content to our website. And finally, to Meredith Root for keeping us all on point and on time.